Welcome to the PaynePoints Podcast. We enjoy telling the stories of everyday people, whether that be small business owners, entrepreneurs, or people with a passion for their community. We want to highlight them and give them a platform to share their story. So grab your favorite beverage and join us on today's episode where we tell the story of someone just like you. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. Today I am with Christy Bedrich of Pawsitive Animal Encounters. Hello, Christy.
Hello.
So give us a little bit of what would you call positive animal encounters if someone were to ask you?
Right. So I would call it an interactive zoo.
An interactive zoo.
Interactive exotic zoo.
Yes.
So I do have some farm animals, but I guess you could say I lean more toward the exotics.
Right. Something that a person would typically have as a pet.
Right. So I do get calls. People want me to come out as a petting zoo. Well, I don't do that.
Yeah.
I don't have the goats and the pigs and the llamas that I take places.
Right.
I do have some of those at my place.
Yes.
But I'm not your typical petting zoo.
Well, our crew here at PaynePoints for the media team, we went out last week and got to experience your lovely little property with all the fun animals.
Yes.
One of the things I'm sure you get asked all the time is, how does one get into accumulating all these very strange and different exotic animals and then turning it into an experience like this?
Well, as a kid, I loved animals. I had a little pig. We had our dogs. We had our typical.
I mean, if you grew up in Texas, you pretty much raised around animals.
I actually grew up in Louisiana.
Oh, well,
yeah.
Okay, anywhere.
I've been a few places, but anywhere in the South, yeah. But I did. I loved animals as a kid. My first career was singing in Branson, Missouri.
Oh, wow.
Yes,
like
so
at the
theaters.
Yeah.
And then my third career was pharmacy for 20 years. And I said, I think God misunderstood me. I meant farm, not pharmacy. So anyway, one day it just, I sat down, I wrote. My dad always says, write it down. Mm-hmm. If you have a goal, write it down. So I did. I wrote down what I'd love to do with animals if I ever got the opportunity. And I said, I'm going to start out with a little monkey. And we're going to go from there and let it grow. They're my babies. And then I can charge an admission fee, make it a business, help pay for their feed and their vet bills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So most people who are animal lovers tend to go into, say, veterinarianism or animal rescue. So you've taken slightly different sort of path in this vein, which I think is great because, anything different and new and fun is fun to talk about. You started out with a monkey. Mm-hmm. Let's go through a list of like all the animals that you have out at your place, because I think people will be surprised at the variety.
So first you mentioned some going to veterinarian. I had a little girl out today. She wants to be a veterinarian.
Aw.
Okay. I wanted to love all the babies.
Yeah.
And take them to the vets.
Vets, you have to do some of the unpleasant things.
It's going to be, yeah.
And I couldn't do that either.
I want to love them. And then if something's wrong, we'll go see the vet, okay?
Yeah. They can do the bad things.
I know. It's kind of like taking your kid to the doctor to hold them down and get their shots. That's how I feel with my babies.
Yeah.
But to answer your question on all the critters that I have, I did start out with Sasha, my squirrel monkey. Mm-hmm. She's 4.
She's full of personality. We got to see.
Yes. And then I won't take them in order as I got them because I won't remember that. But I do have an African Cape porcupine. You can interact with her, yes. Mm-hmm. I have a albino wallaby. I have some sugar gliders. I have reptiles, which include a blue-tongued skink. I have a bearded dragon and a ball python. Mm-hmm. I have a fluffy chinchilla. His name's Carlos.
Yes.
He's so cute.
He was fun.
I have a tortoise who's about 15 years old. He's an African sulcata tortoise. I have 2 fennec foxes. They're a desert fox. Mm-hmm. They're the ones with the big ears. Everybody thinks so cute, and they're tiny. Mm-hmm. What else do I have?
They were about the size of cats, or maybe a little.
No, they're smaller. They're like little Chihuahua size.
Yeah, they were. They were tiny.
They are. And they don't get any bigger than that. Like we have the red foxes around here. They're tall with the tall, long legs. continental giant rabbits. Did I miss anything? Pigs. Oh, wait, I have a sloth.
And the sloth.
How do you forget a sloth?
And whenever you're put on the spot with anything, you kind of like, and then later on you're going to be like,
I should have looked at my business card. My business card has emojis for every critter I have.
She's got a llama.
Llama, goats, pigs.
And yeah, she's got all the things, all the fun things. Yeah, it was great. And I was surprised I thought, oh, this is going to be like a lot of these things. You know, you're going to run through it in maybe 45 minutes to an hour, even though you said on your website it can be like up to 2 hours. And I was just like, yeah, there's a small group of us. But we were there 2 hours.
Yes.
It's and you know, some people may balk at the price, but if you think about it, it's you're trying to take care of these animals. Yes. It's just you. It's not like you're trying to, you know, become a millionaire here.
That's right.
And you really get to get in there with the animals, touch them, you know, assuming they're in the mood for that day, feed them, you know, or not touch them if that's not your thing. You know, some people, I didn't hold the snake or put it around my neck because that freaks me out. It's a mental thing. I know that it's not, you know, based in any kind of sanity or logic, but to see everybody with it on their neck and then just think it's going to choke me.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Yeah, that's what you
think.
I
touched it, but I was like, I'm not going to.
And I was proud.
I'm not going to hold it.
I have a friend that says you only fear what you don't understand.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I have snakes out at my place.
Yeah.
And I let them go about their merry way unless they're venomous and they're about to attack one of my pets. You know?
I hear you.
You know, I was just going to, you know, you live over there away from me.
I hear you.
So,
as far as the pricing, I do get some phone calls and they just, never mind, you know, because they do not realize. I've even had some people, you know, balk over the price, but then they show up. And they're like, wow, this was so worth it.
Well, the amount of animals you have that you have to take care of, and then all the enclosures you have to have for them. That stuff isn't cheap or free.
Right. And you know, it's a guided tour.
Yeah.
So I'm right there, and I don't hurry you. I love, because I've done encounters before where I've been pushed through.
Right.
You know?
I wasn't sure what that, I mean, we had no expectations. Yes. I had seen a friend post on social media about it and was like, that's really cool. That's here in Lufkin? Like, I've never heard of them. What?
It's a hidden gem.
We'll go all over, you know, East Texas trying out these different things we hear people talk about. So whenever I saw this pop up, I was like, this is the perfect thing for us to go and experience and then talk about, you know, because we do like to promote small, you know, enterprises, small businesses of any kind. And, you know, I have a special place in my heart for animals because, you know, they don't have a voice of their own. So you sometimes want to help out what doesn't have its own voice.
Yes,
and, you know, to see all these animals that you would not normally get to interact with personally.
Right.
It was a lot of fun, you know.
And as you noticed when you were there, they all have wonderful enclosures.
Oh, yeah. Really big. I was
there. Yeah. So what they don't get in the wild in captivity, they're going to live a lot longer.
Yeah.
I can rush them to the vet, you know, so I do get some that are like, don't you think they should live where they're from? Mm-hmm. You know those people.
But you were telling us during the tour, well, in captivity, they live this long, but in the wild, they only live this many years. And so the difference is pretty stark comparatively. You know, of course, anything living out in the wild is going to be at the mercy of nature.
And I'm not going to agree with those that keep them in small cages.
No.
You've got to, if you're going to have them, spoil them.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I feel like all of your animals were appropriately housed in appropriately sized venues for their size or their activity level.
Yes.
So, and that's also good to see because, you know, sometimes these things can seem a bit like a circus and they're just in these tiny little boxes. That's and, you know, your animals pretty much have free reign all over. You know, I mean, there's some that are very specifically enclosed in their spot, but, you know, the turtle has the whole yard to, explore.
They're my babies. Yeah. And that's my logo is, you know, to share my babies, you know, with you and let you love on them, you know.
So how do you, I know in Texas there's probably not a lot of regulation and what have you, but did you have to get certified or licensed? Do you have to maintain certain things every year? Does some agency come in and audit you or inspect, you know, to make sure that you're not abusing the animals, things like that? What can you tell us about that part of it?
I am USDA licensed.
What does that mean?
So the zoo is also USDA licensed.
Okay.
There's different sections, different classes. I'm class C.
Okay.
That way I'm able to exhibit these animals, and yes, they show up a couple times a year, sometimes unannounced, and they check out their enclosures. They'll give me advice if something, you know, isn't up to par for them. You know, something simple that they taught me a few years ago when they came out, the rabbits. You know, rabbits can overheat. Well, a lot of things can, but anyway, rabbits are sensitive that way. Was to fill up gallons of water, freeze it, just set it out there and let them lay next to it, you know.
Oh, is that what those were?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't think to ask.
And I was like, you know, so they're very informative.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah, they'll critique, but she saw that I had some rabbits. They were laid out, you know, and enjoying themselves on the concrete. But she was like, hey, a good idea would be put some freezer packs out here. Let them lay next to it like it's emitting the cool air. So USDA has been great to me. The agent that I see also sees the Lufkin Zoo. And they've been wonderful.
So do you apply online? Do you have to take a class? To even get the license, they come out and inspect things ahead of time?
To even get it, they will come out just to inspect everything. I'm also LLC. I'm also a business.
Sure.
But they'll inspect everything to approve.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
What does something like that cost? If somebody's listening right now and they're like, you know what she's just described is exactly what I've wanted to do. You know, I've got these animals. I want to. What is the overall cost in getting started? And then if you don't mind sharing, your monthly expenditures on food and upkeep and all that kind of thing. And you kind of joked with us that day, like, oh God, I don't even want to look at that bill.
I will tell you, I don't look till it's tax time.
Gotcha.
I will look and go, wow. I'm going to say $1,000 a month ish for food. You know, I go through a lot of produce. That's just a guess. Getting into it, you're going to spend, I'm just now seeing any results.
Yeah.
I've been doing it 3.5 years.
Yeah.
So getting into it, you're building enclosures, you're purchasing these exotics. Okay. Monkeys aren't cheap. Sloths aren't cheap.
Right.
Or everybody would have them.
Right.
So,
and they're difficult to care for. You have to, you went through a whole litany of different things you have to do in order to maintain these animals' sanity.
Yes, that's exactly
yours.
Right. Yes. If it's going to start getting stressful for me, we're going to tweak things because I love what I do.
Yeah.
So as far as getting into the USDA deal, you know, it's like a one-time fee, but then it gets more expensive the more animals you have.
I see.
So you keep paying the more animals you get. But the big thing is the purchasing of these animals and keeping up their enclosures. It was doing that where I was in the hole.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to make a lot of money, believe me.
Sure.
I'm just trying to have these as my babies and share them with others to be able to keep them up, you know, keep them vetted.
Well, I think people too also, expect a certain animal to behave a certain way, and then you get in with them, and they're like, "Oh, this is way different than I expected."
It's like the porcupine.
Yeah, I was a little trepidatious going in that enclosure with a porcupine, to be honest.
Lots of people, when I open the door, they're like, "Wait, we're going in?" So I'll talk to them about her first. Porcupines do not they don't shoot their quills.
I mean, she was chill. She ate right out of my hand. It was great.
She is like a puppy. And I always tell people, don't tell Sasha the squirrel monkey, but Rosie, the porcupine is my favorite. She's just chill. You can sit with her. She'll lay next to you. The only reason you would get quilled by a porcupine is if you get in a fight.
Right.
If you're
I am not going to get into a fight with a porcupine.
Nope.
That does not sound like a fun thing to do at all.
Nope. I don't think you would. So.
We also got to enjoy your 3 dogs who wanted to come on the tour with us.
Yes.
Lexi she's this teeny, tiny little like teacup chihuahua of yours that you said she was 15 years old?
She's about 12.
12.
Yeah.
That was close. It was like a little ghost. She was a little shadow the whole time and just got in there with those animals, wasn't afraid of them, because they're all like 5 times bigger than her.
She's not scared. She can get through anything. She's odd looking. I've had plenty of kids at the end of the tour. I say, what was your favorite animal?
And they'll say the dogs.
Yeah. I really loved your dogs.
But the fact that they were so chill with all the animals, they had it's like, this is just another day for us.
Oh, the Finnick foxes, they love it. When the dogs come outside, they get their toys, they start making their cute little noises, and a lot of my animals are nocturnal. A lot of them. So
Have you ever thought about doing tours at night?
My husband said, baby, you're such a night person. Why don't you do midnight tours?
Yeah. Have that place lit up. You don't really have super close neighbors, so it wouldn't be too bad.
I think it might be a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah, because then you'd see them, we had to wake most of them up to interact with them, and they were not happy with us.
Yeah.
Especially the sugar glider.
A few, I'd say maybe about a month ago, we had a sip with Scarlett at nighttime.
Okay.
So we had about 12 ladies, did a little event, see how it went. We had drinks, we had wine, and we had sodas, and
she's the sloth.
Scarlett is the sloth. Yes, we had her in the middle of the room,
She just did her thing.
Yeah, people laid down, took selfies with her, and got to pet her. And so, yeah, that was pretty cool. So we may do that event again.
Yeah.
And we may do another summer camp for kids. I did one in spring break.
Okay.
And that went great. It was an all-day camp. So we may do a couple of those for the summer.
What all does that entail for the kids?
So the kids get a T-shirt.
Ooh,
yes,
fun.
Get dropped off that about 10 o'clock in the morning, and we'll do some inside animal encounters with the ones I have indoors, and then we will take a break, maybe do arts and crafts. Last time we had some cool little wooden jaguars and giraffes, and we played pin the tail on the monkey.
Nice.
Yeah.
Of course.
And then after that, we did more tours of the animals. We sat with them. The wallaby, we just sat on the ground, let him come to us. We chilled, had lunch.
That sounds like a great activity
really,
for kids. What's the age range that you allow for?
I believe we did, was it 7 or 8 to 13?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good age bracket.
And it really was. And we split them up. I had some... we had some help, so I had some other girls helping that took an age group. I had an age group, and lots of fun. I mean, the kids just, best day ever.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, I actually taught my youngest daughter is about to turn 14 this week, and her cousin had been talking for several weeks about going skating because they haven't done that in a really long time. But when I got back from this thing, I was like, we could do this instead if you'd like. And she was like, that sounds really, really cool. And if Piper and I hadn't already decided on this, maybe. But so maybe I'll bring her out.
Yes.
Bring them out sometime, maybe a little later this summer, just as a fun before school starts again treat thing.
Oh yeah.
Because I think kids that would really enjoy that. It's especially when they're not super scared of animals. But even if they are, it's a go at your own pace kind of thing.
It is.
You don't force anybody to take anything or hold anything. You were just like, you don't want to hold? Okay, cool. That's fine. Moving on.
I always let them know if I'm holding it, I feel safe with you holding it.
Yeah.
So like Sasha, the squirrel monkey, she's 4. She's feisty now. We do not take her out.
Yeah.
Anything that I offer you to hold.
I made the mistake of taking out my chapstick, and she went ballistic on me on the other side of that cage.
That's her favorite.
Give it to me. Give it to me right now.
She used to take that from my husband all the time. She'd grab his chapstick. First thing she would go for. He eventually learned not to carry his chapstick.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not going to make this mistake again while I'm in here.
Right. She'll take that lid off and start eating it.
Yeah. I mean, monkeys.
So at least bring strawberry flavor next time.
Okay. I'll just not do it at all. Why don't you walk us through it, like a typical day? Like, what does it look like for you? You wake up, you feed the animals. How does that all?
Sure.
What's your schedule like?
So, typical day for me is I stay up really late. Okay, I'm probably nocturnal like most of my animals. I will sleep if I don't have a tour. I'll sleep till about 11. Okay, I'm going to be totally honest here.
That's fine.
Well, when my daughter's in school, I'll take her to school, come home, go back to sleep. Hot day like this, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to spray my pigs. Pigs don't sweat. They need water. Their mud holes are already hot by now. Their pools are already hot by now. So I'm changing out all their waters, throwing them some carrots to be cool because they love some good cold veggies. They like lettuce, blueberries. My smaller pigs got some blueberries today. But that's my main thing, is to make sure those pigs stay cool. And then I will go check on the rabbits, give them their freezer packs so that they can lay next to it and stay cool. One of my rabbits had babies. Did y'all see the babies?
Yes.
Yeah. They're actually starting to eat lettuce and stuff now. So
wow. They were hiding in a corner when we were there that day.
Yeah.
They were like, we're done.
I give them some lettuce and I'm like, that'll get them cool. Keep them cool back there in the corner. Foxes are usually asleep, but I do make my rounds, check on everybody. I feed the sloth. She gets a nice spread, and my husband always says, is that for me? No.
Nice little charcuterie tray just
for
her.
That's what it looks like. That's what it looks like. So she'll get like green beans, squash, zucchini. I'll give her some vegetables like steamed veggies, red tip lettuce. So I give her food because I feed her twice a day. She is nocturnal, but she'll come down to eat, and then I'll feed her late at night. And then I'll break for a bit. I've got errands to run, whatever. Around 5, I start feeding the pigs their grain, the llama, the goats, rabbits, Bentley, the wallaby. Everybody starts getting fed around 5. I'll get done around 9.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
4 hours.
Sugar glider feeding, reptile feeding. Of course, you got the snake. She only eats like once a month.
Right. They're a little less high maintenance in that way.
I love it. And I've got
Do you have to keep like a calendar, keep track of when you last fed her? Or?
I don't, because I have a mama gut.
Okay.
I can tell. I'm like, oh, she's moving her. She's hungry. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I have a guy that I buy the rats from, the mice from. Depending on what he's got. If they're small, then I'll get 3 or 4. She'll eat them all. If he's got a big one, then we're good.
Yeah.
We're good for a while. Sometimes she's not hungry. She'll just stare at it. They're friends.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's play.
Let's just, right? Which is dangerous. So let's just wait till next week. We'll try again.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a pretty all day thing, but I do take my breaks.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I was curious about that, and I forgot to ask when we were on the tour, like exactly, are you just all day, like, running around taking care of the animals? It's good to hear that it's not an all consuming thing. Do you have to do any kind of grooming, or is that something you take them to the vet for, or do they do that themselves? Like any kind of like nail trimming or brushing because of hair getting matted, like those rabbits have massive amounts of hair, and the foxes actually will shed, like dogs do.
Yeah. They kind of take care of themselves. As far as their nails, they have concrete in there. So they run all the time. I check them, but they're always fine. Yeah. Wallaby, you do not trim their nails. Sloth, you do not trim their nails. Sure. Not a lot of maintenance then. No. I mean, most animals in the wild will be taking care of those things anyway, but I wasn't sure if there was something you had to do special if they're they're in captivity. But my favorite part of my day is doing tours.
Yeah.
It's like I'm having just as much fun as
you definitely have the personality for it, I will say, because not everybody would be able to maintain that level of energy for that long a period of time, be that excited to repeat the same information over and over again. I mean, I know what my personality is like, and after a few months, I'd be like, okay, I'm tired.
Sloth eats lettuce. Yeah. I've been on those tours. Sure. I have, where people are just treat you like a number, in and out.
Yeah.
Okay, pet with 2 fingers, let's go. Mm-hmm. And you're like, oh, that's it?
Yeah.
So that's how I've learned
to do
what I want to do, so somebody can have it as a very memorable experience.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
And I was an entertainer back in the day, so
that makes sense now that you say that, because there's the way you present yourself during the tour feels very
entertaining,
showmanship like.
I always had a motto, and even when I was in pharmacy, I was managing a pharmacy, and we would have a meeting, and I would say, look, this is like doing a show. Mm-hmm. We're in retail. When the door opens, that's the curtain. When the curtain opens, the show starts.
Yeah.
I don't care what kind of day you're having.
Put on a face.
Those people don't need to know about it.
I agree with that.
So yeah.
So you put your stuff behind for a while. Right. You're at work. Be professional.
That's right. So
yeah,
but I try to have a good time.
You have a great personality for that sort of thing. Have high energy. You get people excited.
99% of the time, it's very authentic, because I totally love what I'm doing.
Yeah, you can definitely tell that. That comes through very much so.
And the people entertain me.
Well, yeah, I'm sure we do. I want to put a pause in the questions and ask you some what we call the rapid fire section, where it's just you answer the first thing that comes to your mind. And it's just one of those little things that gets people like, what she likes kind of stuff. Well, we've already kind of had this question during the sound check, but what did you have for breakfast?
Oh, well, I had a blueberry muffin.
How do you take your coffee?
I take it with cream and sugar.
Good deal.
Yeah.
What is your favorite song right now?
Oh, my favorite. Oh, gosh. Bruno Mars, Versace on the Floor. Sorry.
No,
that's
good deal. No, it's not.
Because I've been rocking to it in the car.
I mean, whatever gets us through the day, right?
You said rapid, okay?
Yeah. Are you currently watching any TV show? And if so, which show?
Ozark.
I've not started that.
Yeah.
What is your favorite book?
My favorite book I don't read.
That's
I can read, but I don't.
Yeah, you said that.
I can audiobook, but I'm just not there. So.
Good deal. Favorite flavor of ice cream?
Oh, I would have to say Bluebell homemade vanilla.
Yeah, classic.
Yep.
Coke or Pepsi?
Coke. Yeah.
Sweet or salty?
Sweet.
Beach or mountains?
Oh, the beach.
Yep. Are we the same person?
I am dying.
I know. I need a
dying
vacation.
to put my feet in the sand.
Same. What's your zodiac sign?
Sagittarius.
Oh, very good. Y'all are both Sagittarius. Sagittarius.
Kindred spirits.
Oh, yes, dear.
Spring, summer, fall, or winter?
Oh, spring.
Yeah. Introvert or extrovert?
Ah!
As if I don't know the answer to that
right.
already.
Why don't you answer that?
I think you're an extrovert. Maybe. What's your favorite color?
My favorite color would be pink.
Pink. Oh, well, then you should have sat behind the pink.
I love it.
I guess you just wanted to look at it this whole time. That's good.
Yes.
Is a hot dog a sandwich?
No.
I love how she answered that so quick. Nope.
I'm trying to be rapid here.
No, you're good. And what's your favorite social media platform?
I thought you were going to ask for my social security number.
Yes, I'm going to steal your identity later. Open up some credit cards.
Good luck with that.
I know.
So what is my what?
Favorite social media platform?
As in?
Like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok.
Oh, sorry. I'm old.
No, you're good.
Facebook.
Facebook.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
We're in that demographic.
I need to learn Instagram and I need to learn Snapchat.
The thing is and here's the thing I tell people. Social media is a full-time job in and of itself, and you're already working a full-time job. Yeah. So that would be kind of unrealistic at this point. Yeah. I'll get you some help on that, on that front.
I'll let you share my pictures.
Yeah. I mean, I tagged y'all in all of them. What do you do when you're not taking care of animals? Well, you said you wanted to get your toes in the sand. What does Christy do as a hobby that's not work-related?
My favorite thing to do is to sit with my husband and watch like the ID channel, like those weird murder shows. Yeah. Yeah, that's like literally my favorite thing to do.
Yeah. Like true crime.
Yeah, true crime stuff. I'll even tell him, we'll sit there and hold hands. I'm like, this is so my favorite thing to do. Like, I'm having so much fun right now. Yeah. We're going on a cruise in a few weeks.
Oh, nice.
So one specific day, I will get to put my feet in the sand.
Nice.
So that would be my other.
What's your cruise route going to be?
We're just going to Cozumel. Okay. 4 days. Yeah. Yeah, just something I booked 2 weeks ago. Yeah. I just want to go.
The last time I took a cruise, we went to Progresso and Cozumel.
Yeah. And we did the ruins. We've done all that before. And
I just sat on the beach both times.
Oh, gosh. I can't wait. I can't wait. Yeah. And
Christy, if you could turn your microphone around, I think that we're closer to the back. So the Audio Technica side? Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. You sound great.
Perfect.
Now I'm checking mine. What did I do?
I guess I was fidgeting.
I didn't even notice.
No, you're good.
I was fidgeting.
You know, it's a Monday. We're just going to play it off. I blame it on that every single time. Yes. Every single time.
I hear you.
You know, taking care of animals is a lot of work and responsibility. How do you set up your day? I'm even doing it now. How do you set up your day to be successful, to put you in that right frame of mind? Because, you know, sometimes I'm sure you wake up going, this is work and I'm tired. Yes. So how do you overcome that? You know, because all these animals are relying on you.
That's a good question. I do. There are times, like any job, you're like, oh, I'm waking up. I'm going to do this all over again. Mm-hmm. But you know what? Something just hits me in the head that you have got these amazing animals.
They rely on you.
And I just like perk up like, you have a sloth in your back room. Like, Christy, people would die for this, you know? So that right there gets me like, you're not going to a 9 to 5.
Yeah. I mean, that's got to be the best appeal right there. Because, you know, given the landscape of our entire culture and society now, and when we spent, you know, a year basically locked away in our homes, which for me was like ideal. I know that's not everybody's thing, but I think that's the mind shift of how people work has started to shift. I've seen a huge like change in people's attitudes, like not necessarily doing the typical 9 to 5 thing, pursuing their dreams or something outside the what's quote unquote normal. And doing these things that seem outrageous to some. Yes. But then you're like, I can't believe I get to wake up and do this every day.
That's right. So that's my motivation. I will tell you I fall in that rut.
Oh, sure.
I mean, I would
think that there was something wrong with you if you didn't.
I may do a big crowd, a big party, and I'm like, oh, what am I doing? And then I stop and I remember those smiles on those faces. Yeah. When I heard that little kid walk away and go to their car and say, this was the best day ever, I melt. Yeah. I go inside, I sit down, and I melt. Yeah. I mean, I've had some people come and just do this for therapy.
Sure.
It's therapy for me.
I mean, I've read where, when you're in a facility, a rehab facility of some kind, for any kind of addiction or whatever, that they will have certain sessions with animals specifically to help, because there's something about calming about being in the presence of an animal and having something kind of rely on you.
You forget everything.
Yeah.
I'll sit with those foxes and they're playing and back and forth with their toys. And for that 30 minutes I may be sitting there, I have forgotten everything.
Yeah. I didn't think about anything else the 2 hours we were there. Like, nothing crossed. I was taking pictures and enjoying the moment. And I really didn't even take as many pictures as I could have because I wanted to enjoy what we were doing and not be so, oh, am I getting a shot or am I getting the video? That kind of thing.
Yes.
And then when we were done, it was like, wow, I really did check out for 2 hours and just focused on what we were doing, which is not something that happens for me very often.
I try my best to be the picture taker so you guys can enjoy the moments.
Sure.
Because I know how it is when you're trying to get the pictures, and then you're like, I wish I would have just paid more attention.
Yeah.
So I'm snapping pictures left and right to put on Facebook, or I can send them to you personally.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. I don't charge for pictures.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many places they want you to buy their pictures. Don't take your photos. Don't take videos. No, bring it on. Take your own videos, take your own photos. I'll take them. I'll send them to you.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's another added bonus of going to a place like yours, because it's not so commercialized that they're trying to scalp you in every direction. Although I would say that you probably should come up with some merch.
Oh, I know.
In case anybody who lives too far away or whatever can't come, but they want to support or whatever.
Yes.
Do you have any kind of thing set up for donations or... I mean, how does that work when you're an LLC, but you're also kind of a nonprofit?
I do document that for taxes and everything. If people do donate, and I've had some people do that. I mean, it's not all the time, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't.
Not something that happens regularly. I'm not
enough. What is that? A 501c?
501c3,
where they take donations and stuff. So this is just all me.
Yeah.
And I guess if somebody does, then.
What was the benefit of setting it up as an LLC versus a nonprofit exclusively? So that, because I know there's certain criteria you have to meet if you're a nonprofit.
I
just
wanted to do it myself.
Yeah.
And not deal with.
I think with a nonprofit, you have to have like a board of directors. I think that
yes, it is. I forget all the details, but it was 3 years ago when I looked into which did I want to do. And I wanted it just to do all myself, do it myself.
I mean, I get that because I definitely tend to work as a lone wolf kind of person most of the time.
And I have a lot of people that want to volunteer, but it's so
overwhelming.
It's hard to teach somebody the way you want it done.
Yeah.
It's like telling your kid how to do the dishwasher and then you go back and you redo it because
they didn't do
it the way you wanted them to.
Although I think I would imagine if you train somebody from the get-go, this is how you do it, and you didn't give them an option.
Look, I have a wonderful lady. Like, we're going on a cruise, so she comes, she takes care of everybody.
That was going to be my next question. You're about to go on a cruise. Who takes care of the animals when you're gone?
She is a good friend of mine,
Good deal.
and she's been trained. She has it down. She'll spend time with them, not just go feed them. Even if I'm gone for a night, she'll come and,
That's a good friend.
We went to Shreveport a few weeks ago, and she came and took care of everybody. And my husband, he's so funny. He says, "Baby, if they don't eat for a night, they're fine." I'm like, "No, they're my babies." Yeah. But yeah,
you panic, that panic-induced anxiety. I won't have a good time if I don't think they're going to get bad.
Oh, and she's great. She'll text me. Because the sloth is so sensitive. The temperature has to be just right in there, the humidity. Mm-hmm. So she'll text me a picture of the thermometer. She's like, "Is this good?" Although she knows it is.
But probably to reassure you.
She does.
You know, hey, I'm taking care of you. It's good. It's good. We're good.
She knows I'm a worried critter mom. So, yeah.
I mean, there are worse things, I suppose.
Oh, yeah.
I want to ask you what your favorite memories are, but what are some of the things that are the most challenging about this particular job, this particular career path? Like, I imagine there's got to be some things that are, if you lose an animal, that's gut-wrenching, or, making sure you have enough funds to feed them, all those things. So what's been your experience these 3.5 years?
The most
challenging.
The most challenging is, if this is a good answer, balancing my time.
Yeah.
I have 2 kids.
Sure.
I have a husband.
It can be a little consuming, huh?
And so my job is, I wouldn't say 24/7, but it's not, like I said, 9 to 5.
Sure.
So it doesn't really just stop.
Right.
So I try to make sure, that's probably the most challenging thing, is balancing my time. I have a 16-year-old. I have a 24-year-old. She's married on her own now.
Sure.
You know, so I have, she just got married, and I have 2 little granddaughters that I got
They're
married.
going to love going to grandma's house.
Oh my gosh, they love coming over. Can we hold this? Can we hold that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So that's challenging, is making time. But challenging as far as the animals, just the ones that are sensitive, that's challenging to me.
Yeah. Is it as a little nerve-wracking as their, animal mom, to have all these strangers come in and interact with them, and then possibly, something, not that we witnessed anything bad happening and you said that nothing has happened, but like, I would feel a little anxiety every single tour that someone's going to come in and not handle them properly.
Right.
Or not listen to you and do something and get bit.
Oh,
or, that would kind of...
Yeah, we sign a waiver before we get started.
Yeah, definitely. Go in at your own risk and don't be a jackass.
Yeah,
I'm
like, sign this first, kid, and then go over there and put your finger in there with the monkey.
Yeah. Don't do it.
So I'm going to say...
Are most people respectful?
For the most part, I have not had any trouble. And I'm very cautious. Mm-hmm. Like, I'll look back, and if I see a kid getting close to the monkey cage, let's pull back just a little bit. The chinchilla's sensitive as far as being held. You don't want to squeeze. Mm-hmm. So I watch kids with him, and I'll help them hold them. So I kind of have an idea. If I feel like somebody's not going to be good with an animal, then I'm right there to help.
Yeah. So. That's good. I mean, I'm sure you've done it long enough that you start to pick up on those cues and signs, but I would still feel a little bit like, so-and-so's not listening to me, and they're going to end up having some issues here.
There's times I'm like, Mom, get your kid.
Yeah. Get your kid in order.
Get your kid.
Yeah. Do you require parents to come? I mean, obviously you had the camp where they were dropped off, but like obviously they're coming just for a tour. You can't just drop your kids off and be like, free babysitter for 2 hours.
Nope, not dropping them off like you can at the skating rink or ranch or whatever, hijinks. I don't know if they do that, but no, it's required.
Yeah.
Totally have a parent. I've had teenagers come, which that's cool.
Right, sure. I mean, if they can drive themselves there, it's probably all right.
It's pretty cool. But yeah, totally have a parent there. This is not a drop off, and it's by appointment only. Mm-hmm. So, and most people see that on the website or see it on my Facebook page. So I've only had a few people in the last couple years that actually just show up.
Oh,
yeah.
I can't imagine I couldn't imagine doing that. Like, I always want to make sure. I'm a little bit of a type A personality, so that's just not in my DNA anyway. But like, I can't imagine going to someone's, because I assumed it was someone's private residence or farm, where you would have your house, but then there's this barn or something over here to the side. I had no idea what to expect. I saw the pictures on the website and Facebook, but it's all like close-ups of the animals and the people, so you don't really know. Right. And then when I drove up and it was like, this is her house. And her acreage and property, I just can't imagine someone just showing up.
Yeah, she lives at a zoo. I actually did have some folks drive up the other day, and I was waiting on some other people to show up who were running late. So I said, well, do y'all want a quick tour? You're here. Poor things, they couldn't find anything to do. I think the zoo had already closed.
Oh, wow.
The water park wasn't open in Knack. They were doing a private party. And so here I was going to tell them no. And I said, well, let's do a tour until they get here. And I said, just give me a donation.
Nice.
So we did that.
Yeah.
So it actually worked out great because those people were like an hour late, which it was a special deal. So I was okay with that.
Sure. But, in the
Typically,
meantime.
if you're listening, don't be late.
Yeah. No. Yeah. No, seriously, though. I mean, I have no problem like endorsing that. Don't waste other people's time.
I know, right?
Unless there's an emergency.
Yeah.
That's totally fine. What's your best memory over the last 3.5 years taking care of these animals and having your... Is there one?
What comes to mind is Sasha being little, my squirrel monkey. Oh,
she's super cute.
Super darn cute. I mean, you could just sit there and watch her all day. But she's feisty. I can't get her out. So my favorite memory is her being a baby for the first couple years.
And her being real attached
to me, hang on to me, sleep on me. That's what people imagine when they want a monkey anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, they want to.
But they don't stay that way, right?
Nope. I'll be the first not to recommend a monkey as a pet.
Yeah.
So
I've heard that they can be really challenging.
It is.
And you have to really know what you're doing.
Now, do I regret getting Sasha? Negative. I would get another one in a heartbeat for her to have a friend. She does fine by herself. Now in the wild, they do run with other squirrel monkeys like them. But I have thought recently about getting another one.
Well, that was going to be my next question. Are you going to expand and get some different animals? And what would be your ideal animal to get?
Oh, so the next ideal would be if I'm saying it right, a tamandua. It's a small anteater.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I've been looking into that.
Okay.
That's the closest relative to a sloth.
Yeah.
Yeah, is an anteater.
Interesting.
Yeah, their claws are kind
They
of
do
the same.
kind of look similar.
They have the same claws, but of course, anteater's got that long
snout.
But they're a smaller anteater
rather than the really big ones.
That's right.
So that would be your next big one, maybe.
I think I'm going there.
What would your
I
dream
hope my husband's
animal
not
be?
listening to this.
Yeah. Don't listen.
Giraffe.
Oh, wow.
I can rapid answer that one.
You knew like right away.
Yeah. I wish I had a giraffe. I've got a spot, and I don't know if you noticed those goats in the back when you were there.
Yeah.
So
at the very back.
I wish somebody wanted 3 goats. If you're listening, 3 goats.
I mean, you could probably talk to Flower Hill Farm. Megan, do you remember what her name was? No?
Lindsay, I've done talked to her.
She don't want them?
She don't want my wild bulls. She said, no, we want sweet goats. Mine are crazy.
Well, then there's that idea. I'm sorry, I'm out of them for you.
You're out on that one. I don't know what we'll do with these guys. But no, I would love to have a giraffe back there. But how about them donations we were talking about?
Yeah, I imagine. I mean, would an animal rescue allow someone with your license to take an animal like that?
I believe I could have a giraffe.
If there was a rescue.
I'm not totally sure. I have looked into it. I would obviously buy from a USDA breeder.
Sure.
Last I looked into it, they're about $200,000.
Wow.
Yeah, US dollars.
Yeah. Wow.
So I may not ever get that giraffe.
Second mortgage on the house?
Anybody listening that ever wanted to buy one and then just want me to house it?
Yeah. I mean,
you could come visit.
Yeah. Wow. $200,000.
Yeah, about $200,000. Yeah.
That is.
And then you have to have the heated and cooled barn.
Yeah, because they can't just be like out.
And I do believe I have the space for it. That space back there is really, it's high fenced, and so that's my dream animal.
I would love to have an elephant. I know that is absolutely unrealistic in every single way.
Well, so is a giraffe.
But like elephants eat so much.
I know.
Like the bill for their food would be
imagine?
unreal.
Yeah, I know.
I was telling people like if elephants never if I could have an elephant the size of like a Saint Bernard, and they never got any bigger than that, that would be so awesome.
Little mini ones.
A pygmy elephant.
I think that should be a thing.
I mean, if they tried to genetically modify them, they would have so many health issues. But wouldn't that be fun if they existed?
Yes. Mini anything is cute.
Mini anything, yeah. I would totally have an elephant. I wanted a Siberian tiger when I was little.
Stop.
Yeah.
Well, I want to live.
I mean, I know. But like in my 8-year-old, 9-year-old brain, it was like that would make the best pet ever.
Right?
You know?
I know. Nope, I'm not Carol Baskin. I don't have any cats. There's no cats at my place, just a few house cats.
Yeah.
Even, talking about miniature, my pigs, I have 6 pigs.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we have a lot of people think that they stay in teacups.
Nope.
They get 200 pounds.
Yep.
So that's
but a lot of people will take them as pets and then they get huge and they're like, oh, I messed up.
They call me.
Yeah. And it's like, did you not research?
Nope.
They don't ever stay that small.
No.
Even the little ones get huge.
They do. People will go to these places, Canton, or they'll be online and they show them in little teacups and, they don't get 20 pounds, max 50. Nice. Ask to see the parents.
Yeah.
Any animal you get.
Mm-hmm. What do their parents look like? What are they going to be? Yeah, because that's going to be a very good visual representation.
Totally.
You could say 20 pounds and think it's 200.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, look at the mama.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness.
Yep, anything mini is cute.
Anything mini is cute.
Oh, yeah.
Exotic animals are your thing.
Yes.
But you have 3 dogs and you have some cats.
3 dogs, 2 cats.
Fish?
No fish, no birds.
Yeah.
No.
You've got so many other really cool things that, having a run-of-the-mill fish or birds seems kind of meh.
I tried to even have
You get some
chickens.
peacocks?
No, I would like to have a peacock running around. I think that'd be pretty cool. Like the zoo has some,
Yeah.
I don't know. Last time I was at the zoo, guys, the peacocks kept scaring the mess out of me.
Really?
With their loud noises, and I was jumping.
Was it mating season?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Going in like April is like when they get real crazy.
It's not my problem though. Jeez, they were scaring me to death. My daughter said, "Mom, chill."
Yeah, some of them can get kind of aggressive
They
too.
do.
You're like, whoa, you need to chill out. Let's get some cold water on you.
I would love to have a few birds, parrots, but right now I don't have the housing for it.
Yeah.
So our house is not huge. I don't want to hear that loud noise right now.
Yeah.
So I'd like to expand and do maybe aviary someday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the future.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever think you might take on some other people that you would train to do tours and care for the animals, or is that always just going to be you?
Oh, as of now, that's just me.
Yeah.
I like to know that it's being done and people are being treated right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right now, it's just me.
What's your average? Don't you have like one tour a day or several a week?
So it just depends. Like, say I have somebody that wants to come tomorrow at 3, and then I have another phone call. Somebody says, "Hey, do you have any availability tomorrow?" Yes, 3:00.
Mm-hmm.
We'll do a group tour.
Yeah.
So I do them in groups. So if I can knock it out in one tour, it depends on how many people.
Sure.
If somebody calls, they have 15 people.
Yeah.
Then that other person that calls, we're going to do it separate.
Yeah.
So I think max would be 15 to 20 people.
Mm-hmm.
That way everybody gets, their special time with an animal.
Yeah.
I
was going to ask, what's your max number? Because some of those enclosures aren't huge.
Right.
You're trying to fit 20 people in there. It's going to get real small.
Yeah. Yeah. We had a big Girl Scout group the other day. So we took like 4 or 5 in at a time.
Nice.
To be with the porcupine or be with a couple of the pigs,
Yeah.
So, we work it out,
Good deal.
So,
So, yeah. Okay. That to me sounds very busy.
yes.
And when you just got you as the only person doing it, that sounds like a lot.
I'll give my husband a lot of credit. He works full time,
Mm-hmm.
but he'll come home if I happen to be out and about doing something. And, hey, I fed the big animals. That means llama, goats, pigs.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh,
sure you appreciate that.
thank you.
That's one less thing you have to do.
Yeah, yeah. And then we have everything else you have to do.
Yeah.
So there's house chores. So
Yeah.
it's never ending.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's commendable that you've got basically like 3 full-time jobs, really.
yes.
That's what happens when you work for yourself.
Yes,
As we
it
have
is.
figured out with everyone sitting in that chair, it's like, yeah, you go to work for yourself or you go do something you love, and it is more work than you've ever done in your entire
It
life.
really is.
So
Yeah.
be careful of that when you want to do something you really love, because you'll work more hours and more days than you ever thought possible.
You will, but we have to find the positive in it, right?
Yes, definitely. What advice would you give to anyone running their own business? It doesn't have to be an animal-related business, but just what is something you've learned along the way, great advice that you got that's just kind of you've carried with you?
Just, like I mentioned before, write it down.
Write it down.
Write it down. Write down every little thing you're wanting to do. And you're going to be scared.
Yeah.
You're going to be scared out of your mind. Yeah. I clocked out. I worked for Berkshire Brothers Pharmacy. And that last clock out, I went, oh boy, what am I doing?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's going to be scary, but to me, I knew God's got this.
Yeah.
It's either it's going to go my way. If something happens and gets in the way, it wasn't meant to be.
Yeah.
So totally.
But you tried it.
That's right. That's right. And
it.
so far, we're on track. We're going good. I just say don't be scared and face your fear, or you'll never know.
Yeah.
But totally write everything down you want to do and put your eyes on it every day.
Yeah. That's a good piece of advice.
Because then you
for
can
anybody.
see it. You can see it.
Anything you want to do, being able to write it down, visualize it, and it reminds you every day, this is what I'm trying to
Thanks,
achieve.
Dad, for that advice.
That is great advice, Dad.
Man.
Well, why don't you tell everybody where they can find you online
You bet.
and any of your social media handles, so that way they can look you up.
So on Facebook, it's Pawsitive Animal Encounters, which is PAWS, Pawsitive.
Yes, like little paws.
Yeah, little paws. I got lots of little paws.
Yes.
Pawsitive Animal Encounters, and you'll also get to see what everybody gets to do, what animals they're holding. that gives people an idea of exactly what they get to do when they come out. Website is www.positiveanimalsencounters.com. That shows you the packages, birthdays. We do birthday parties out at our place.
That's right. We didn't even talk about that.
I'm turning it around
That's
over and
fine.
over, fidgeting. Yes, we do birthday parties, up to 20 people. So we have a birthday room. I wish I'd have shown you guys that.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like set up for tables and your background drops. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Tongue-tied.
Yeah, you're good.
So people decorate. They bring their balloon arches and all their stuff.
That's
and
cool.
Yeah. So it's usually about 2.5 hours. They do the tour and then they party.
Good deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
So website, Facebook. You're also on Instagram.
I am. I'm there, but I'm not
You've got
there.
an account.
Yeah. Yeah. I mainly am Facebook, but you can also book on Facebook. You can book a tour or you can book through the website as well.
Yes.
And I get those through my email. So
Good deal.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have all of your social media linked in the episode description.
Perfect.
So if anybody wants to check it out that's local, or even if you're not local, it's definitely worth the drive coming from a 2-hour radius. You know, it's not really a whole lot like it around. So
Right.
it's a pretty unique
I
experience.
do get a lot of people from out of town. So I make
Yeah.
sure now I ask, where are you from?
Yeah.
People today were from Fort Worth.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
I mean, that was a good 4-hour drive.
I know. So it's if they're like me, I'd drive that far to hold a sloth or
Sure.
actually I say hold. You don't get to hold Scarlet. But anyway, I would drive that far for animal encounters.
Any kind of interaction with the sloth, anyway.
Any interaction, yeah. So I get lots of out of town people. So that makes me so happy.
Well,
Yeah.
Good. Well, Christy, thank you so much for coming on today and talking about your animal encounters business and all the things you got going on out there. It's been real fun. It was fun going out there last week. It was fun having you here. I will definitely be going back and telling everybody about you. So if you guys want to do something fun in the East Texas area, you should check out Positive Animal Encounters with Christy
Bedrich.
Gosh,
That's okay.
darn it. I almost had it.
Just Christy. Just Christy.
Christy.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah, definitely. All right, guys. Well, hope you enjoyed this episode. Stick around. I'm sure we'll have another one soon. Thanks so much. Do you have a story to tell? We want to hear it. If you'd like to be a guest on our podcast and share your story, contact us on our website at PaynePoints.com or any of the social media linked on our website. Be sure to subscribe and follow us on either Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or YouTube. We'd appreciate a review, a like, or a comment to let us know what you think. You can find all of our podcasts linked on our website under the podcast tab. Once again, thanks for joining us, and we want to wish everybody a wonderful day.